History Makers. History Makers.
Hi and welcome to History Makers. I'm Matt Prater. We're here at Easterfest 2011 talking with Christopher Wayne. Now, I got the chance to chat to Christopher a few years ago. He's performed at New Hope, Brisbane, and since then he's just taken off. He's been doing Toasted TV on Channel 10. He's been doing international performances, and here at Easterfest he is like, you know, the kids are loving it. They can't wait to see him. So exciting. Now, Chris, let's go back to the beginning. Your testimony really impacted me when I heard you share it at New Hope a while back. Tell us your story about coming to faith and some of the struggles you went through in the younger years.
Well, when I was growing up, I'm 27 now. I started magic when I was 21, and in high school, when I was about 13 or 14, I was, just your average high school student. I was diagnosed with depression and obsessive compulsive disorder, which is a mental illness that affects one in give or take every 40 people. And that dominated my life for a good 5 years. I was a Christian guy, and I couldn't understand as I went through this. I got really sick over that 5 years, and I couldn't understand why me. And, if God loved me or cared about me, why he'd let me go through that. That was a big struggle for me that whole time, And it was about 5 years later, after I'd made a choice, number one, to talk to someone about my problem. And then number two, I was with some friends and I said, guys, I need you to pray for me because I am at rock bottom here. And I was so sick at the time. They prayed for me. Nothing happened. Next morning I woke up and completely fine. I stand here 10 years later, still completely fine. There was no logical medical explanation for it. My mum, who was my carer at the time, she had the same answer as me, that it had to be a healing. And yeah, that's pretty much what I'm about. I love all the magic and stuff I get to do, but my heart is sharing with people those two things that are important to me, because we all go through tough times inevitably, no matter who we are or what we do. And those two things are, number one, I believe that God can take you or me or anyone and restore us on the inside and outside. And number two, that it's so important to talk to someone when you're going through a tough time. So many people try and deal with it themselves or keep it to themselves, but the best thing I ever did was, I still remember the day when I told my mum, there's something wrong with me and I don't know what's going on, yeah.
We played that first History Makers interview where you shared the story a few years ago. I've had a number of emails, people contact me saying, my kid has been struggling with OCD, or I have, and I listened to that testimony and it gave me hope. Is that part of your heart, to bring hope to those that might be wrestling with that?
Absolutely, and not like OCD and anything along those lines, because obviously not everyone goes through that, and I suppose the core values that are important to me with what I do as Christopher Wayne, the entertainer. Magic and illusion has always been a passion of mine and always will be, but I always want that to be, I suppose, the concrete for which I build something bigger on top. And for me, that thing is, number one, what I've already shared about the difference that God can make in talking about your problems, be it OCD or something else, something bigger, something smaller, and also to encourage people. When I was 21, I was just working in a biscuit factory, no idea what I wanted to do with my life, and I'm really living my dream now. And to encourage people, because we're all made different with different dreams and goals and desires, never to stop believing in that stuff inside, because it's so easy to get jaded or cynical or stop dreaming like a kid when you get older. And it was when I started to get a bit older that I started to challenge myself to dream like a kid, like I used to when I was a kid. So it's all those core things that I really want to share. And that's really encouraging to hear that people contact you about those interviews. That means so much to me, that the interview you and me filmed in an office in Milton, 5 years back nearly, that people are still hearing that now and connecting with it. Even if that's one person that I never get to meet. That's amazing.
And remember, you just lived over the road from that office at the time. That was like one of those God incidences. Now, you're doing some mega awesome, world record breaking kind of magic tricks lately. Tell us about your latest material you're working on.
Yeah, well, sure. Well, last year at Easterfest, they offered me a headlining spot on main stage where we decided to recreate the Harry Houdini inverted straitjacket escape. So I was tied in a straitjacket, shackled at the feet, and then hung upside down from a crane. And I had 90 seconds to get out. I had to pop my right shoulder to get out, and not a full dislocation, but you just pop it out for a moment. It was the full kit and caboodle to get out, and it was such an amazing experience. So this year they said, what can you do to make it bigger? So we didn't want to recreate anything. We thought we'd make history, which is History Makers, right? And tonight we're doing exactly that at the festival. We're doing a stunt that's never been done before called The Box. We created it just for Easterfest on main stage. Opening spot for Switchfoot, I'm going to be locked and shackled, handcuffed, and sealed in a crate. This crate is going to be connected to a crane and taken up into the sky. 60 seconds to get out. At 60 seconds, they're going to release the crate and drop it down to the stage. If I don't get out, I can get seriously hurt. There's this small death factor, but the plan is there's a safety line. I get out of the shackles. I pick the locks on the outside of the box. I get out of the top, slide down the safety line. So that's the plan for tonight.
So this could be the last time we see each other.
Well, it could be, but you know what? You could get hit by some lightning as well. It's sunny out. We've spent 6 months rehearsing this meticulously. I've got 7 guys on stage with me, and everyone has such a specific job, and they know what their job is. On top of that, the Easterfest crew here are amazing. Everything we do is a 10-to-1 safety factor. There is a real risk of injury, death, all that stuff, but this is my one job in the world as a professional. All these guys are trained with me, so we're hoping for the best, yeah.
I mean, I'll pray that the angels are there helping you, looking after you tonight, eh?
Thank you very much. They'll have good seats for Switchfoot too, right up the front. I got to tell you, I'm 6'2". You're making me feel short right now. It's amazing. I've never noticed this before. Yeah.
Well, Christopher Wayne, I reckon you're a history maker, mate. What's the website people can go to find out more?
If you want to find out more about what I do, you can go to christopherwayne.com.au. There's gospelmagic.com.au. And if you want to learn tricks, you can go to magicschool.com.au, where we teach easy magic tricks that anyone can learn. All lots of fun. Yeah.
God bless you, mate. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much. History Makers.
History Makers. History